Now, let's talk a little bit about some guardrails for brands, right? So you got some brand guardrails, and then also there is some local cultural truth sometimes that we probably need to follow because, at the end of the day, the global brand is one thing, but you're catering to a local brand or local demographics in some cases. So how do we balance the two? You've got that big brand decisions to make or directions to follow, but meanwhile, you got to make sure that you're at a micro level, like at a small demographical area in some countries, that you need to follow certain things. How do you balance the two?
Yeah, I mean, it's forever the you
The
know,
challenge?
the challenge. Yeah, thank you. I'm struggling with that word. I don't know why. Forever the challenge in this industry is, how far do you drift from the brand to go into, cultural connection? I think it's working with the partners that we have. So there is flexibility for that initial round of, like, let's say it's a title treatment. And it's going to our designer in China. In China, for a a title treatment that's in English, they have to completely deconstruct and then reconstruct, especially if it's like a 3D title or something like that that has, shadowing and stuff like that. So, having that first round come back and stating those cultural considerations back to the client of saying this, this is why we did this, this is what this means. It gives the client the opportunity and, puts the power in their hands to say, we're comfortable with making that decision, or no, we want to go the safer route and we'd rather stick closer to the original IP versus go more in a cultural direction. So we delivered, I think it's close to 900,000 localized title treatments in this last year, and so there are thousands of those micro decisions going back and forth between in country and the end client. It's really fascinating because there is a lot of decisioning to make, but at the end of the day, there is fast go to market times. The content needs to go out on platform. So we lean in on being the connector between our clients and those cultural considerations.
Is there a fear, in your opinion, of losing the brand consistency when accommodating local campaigns?
I think with IP that's as large as some of the stuff that we're working on. For example, with Sony Pictures, we do some digital advertising campaigns to help promote in certain regions, and you stick close to the brand and the IP because these are big releases, big global releases. So I would say within this particular industry, you're more likely to stay safer on the brand side than you are to, truly creatively localize something. I think when you get down into, we have some fun examples from our resources where they talk about chances they took or whatever that did end up getting approved because it was so thoughtful and so nuanced. But with something like a Stranger Things, you want to play it safe with that brand identity.
Now, is there a, or perhaps maybe there isn't, but let's say there is a structural governance in place or models in place to balance the brand and local relevance. I'm assuming that would be like the communication with your customers, or maybe there are some other measures in place.
Yeah, no, that's built into the workflow communication with our customers, and in processing this many files daily, I mean, it is sometimes really fast, rapid fire decisioning. So working with our partners and having that really close relationship and knowing that what's coming back that may be leaning more culturally connected but less brand. Those considerations are laid out really clearly, and we give our customers the opportunity to approve, disapprove.